Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I am excited to tell y'all that I have a testimony to share with you on today. It's not Tuesday, but I do have a testimony, okay? So God is so good. So good. If you can't tell, I am just excited to share with y'all how good God is. And the video that I'm going to, or the title of this video is going to be God Has You Covered. God has you covered. And this testimony is going to be a true evidence of how God keeps us covered on all sides, okay? Even when we're not thinking about it, even on sides that we're not even thinking about, He has us covered all around, okay? He has you covered all around. So a couple of weeks ago, I was driving home from work and my car just stopped. I was at a red light about to accelerate and my car said, "No, ma'am, we're not accelerating anywhere," okay? This was rush hour traffic. I was coming off of a bridge. I was on a bridge and my car wouldn't go. Called 911 so they could send an officer out to, block traffic. And as I'm on the phone with the 911 operator, my car starts to go. Like, I'm not even pushing the gas at this point. It starts to go. It wouldn't go over like 10 miles an hour. And when I tell you God kept my car going long enough for me to cross over the intersection, switch lanes, and pull into a parking lot. So that was about 2 weeks ago. Once my car stopped, I got it towed to my apartment, and the next day, I'm calling around. I'm asking people for mechanic information on mechanics in the area, and I was referred to 2 mechanics. Both mechanics told me, based on what I told them happened, that it was my engine. They were like 99% sure it's the engine. If you want me to come take a look at it, I can. I do charge, but honestly, I can tell you right now it's the engine. So with that information, I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to hear that right now. The engines are expensive and my car is paid off. I'm not in the market right now for a new car. I'm not in the market for a car note. Let me say that, okay? So, I'm praying, talking to God, like, okay, Lord, like, this is where I'm at. I need you to come through. But even in the midst of my car stopping, let me just tell y'all this. Even as I was waiting for my dad to get there and the tow truck to get there, I was just praising God. Like, I could have reacted in so many different ways, but I chose to look at the brighter side of things. The fact that God allowed me to get my car from off of a bridge to safety, to a parking lot where I was able to wait without worrying about somebody hitting my car. My car stopped when I was probably a mile away from home. My dad came to pick me up. I didn't have to, I wasn't stranded looking for a ride. Tow truck towed me to my apartment for free. It was just so many things in that moment alone. And I really believe that was an opportunity. Like, it was a test for me. Like, how am I going to respond in this situation? And that's a word for somebody right there too. How are you responding to the situations that are happening to you? How are you responding? What is your attitude? Like, I chose to be grateful. I chose to thank God for the positive in the situation. I started to thank God for the opportunity to see how He was going to show up for me in the midst of my car stopping. So I just had to put that in there. So yeah, I'm calling around, talking to mechanics. So during this process, everyone is telling me, try not to go to the dealership because they're going to charge you an arm and a leg. So I, in my mind, started looking for, started thinking like, okay, what makes more sense financially? A new engine can cost me anywhere from, $4,000, if not more. My car is older. It's already paid off. It doesn't make sense to put that much money into it when I could put that towards a new car, right? So I'm starting to look for new cars. And even in the midst of looking for new cars, I still was talking to God, still bringing Him along in the process, asking Him, like, lead me, guide me, like, what's your plan? Because I know you have a plan. I was taken off guard. I'm just trying to get home from work, but God, you already knew this was going to happen. So what's the plan? Like, show me the plan. So the Holy Spirit just impressed upon my mind to call the Kia dealership. And lo and behold, when I call them, they're telling me that, the engines are, we've been having issues with the engine. So there's been an extension placed on them. I'm assuming like the warranty has been extended on them. So you can bring it in. It's going to cost $150 for us to look at it, diagnose it, make sure that that's the issue. If so, the engine is going to be fixed free of charge. So I'm like, perfect, God, thank you. And people were like, that's great. Like, hopefully that's what it is. And I'm like, no, that's what it is. God is answering my prayers. Okay. So, get the car towed to the dealership. And this whole time, y'all, that I've been without a car, let me just tell you, I have not had to pay for one Uber. I haven't missed one day of work. I haven't paid anybody gas money. God has just been making sure I've been covered all around. I haven't been stressed out, none of that. So I talked to the service techs at the dealership. They're like, we're going to take a look at the engine. There's also some recalls with some other issues on the car. So we're going to get those fixed as well. So we just going to fast forward to tonight. Get to the dealership. The engine has been replaced with a new engine. Both of my recalls were taken care of. And that $150 that they said I would have to pay, didn't have to pay it. Did not have to pay it. Then on top of that, I didn't tell y'all this, but my electrical system in my car, where the radio and the screen is, Bluetooth, all of that, went out. This went out probably, I'm going to say 2 to 3 months ago. I just hadn't, gotten it fixed yet. And honestly, I didn't want to pay to get it fixed. Okay. Again, I have an older car. So I'm like, I don't want to put more money into this car. When I picked up my car, what was fixed? Yes, the electrical system was fixed. I never mentioned it to them, never asked them. It was fixed. And honestly, probably when I got the call that my car was ready, in my mind, I told God, I was like, well, sure, it would be nice if they fixed that too somehow, It was fixed. It was fixed. So that is a testament right there that God always has us covered on all sides, even when we're not thinking about it. He has us covered. He is going to show us favor in situations if we give him an opportunity to. When I tell you, I look back and I just see God's hand all along the way, just woven throughout. Even me talking with 2 mechanics, and actually 3 mechanics. The third mechanic just happened to be driving by in my complex one night when my dad and I were looking at the car, had the hood up, and he stopped by. All 3 mechanics I spoke to told me the same thing, that they're pretty sure it's the engine. I can look at it for you. It's going to cost you, but honestly, I'd rather you save that money because I know it's the engine. Y'all, how many times do we hear stories about mechanics getting over on people? Any one of those 3 mechanics could have easily taken my money and looked in my car, even though they already knew what the problem was. And I know that was God looking out for me, right? He sent me, the people that referred me to them, God was in the midst of that. So this whole situation, this whole time without a car has been such a blessing. And mind y'all, I told you earlier, I haven't paid for not one ride share, haven't had to buy gas, haven't missed a day of work, haven't gone without anything. Whenever I've needed transportation, God has provided it. My parents have been amazing, absolutely amazing. He's just had me covered all around. And a lot of times we want to experience God as a provider, but in order for him to be a provider, we have to be in need. So if you're in a situation right now and you don't have what you need, look at that as an opportunity to experience God as a provider. If you're in a situation where you're hurting, look at that as an opportunity to experience God as a healer. If you're in an opportunity or in a situation where you're feeling lonely, look at that as an opportunity for God to be your comforter. Whatever it is that you are lacking right now, that's an opportunity for you to experience God in a new way. That's an opportunity for you to remember just who you serve, the power of the God that you serve. Y'all, I'm telling you, every situation is an opportunity to get closer to God and to experience him, experience one of his attributes. It's fun reading about God and, you know, how he does these different things, but it's even better to experience those things in your own life.